Okay, guys, Freedom Dad here, and I'm with Andy. And this isn't our first rodeo, is
All
it?
right, Jay.
This isn't our first rodeo. We've been here before, and amateur hour with Freedom Dad. I didn't have enough memory in my phone, and we lost the footage. So yeah, it is a quite a serious subject, and what we're going to be talking about is something called RSC. And before we go any further, could I get a wee look at this? So I'm going to tell you what RSC is in layman's terms. Basically, if you were to Google it. So the term RSE can refer to two different subjects: relationships and sex education, which is a UK school curriculum, and research software engineering and international academic and professional community. Now, I'm just going to say this again,
Just
guys.
stop there, Mark. How does the Northern Ireland parents understand
Yeah,
that?
yeah. So I'm just going to run this by you again. This is to do with your children. Okay, it's um it's in the UK schools curriculum. How do you pronounce
Curriculum.
it? Curriculum. Thank you, guys. And research software engineering. So I believe that would be AI, and I imagine that an international academic and professional community, both originated from district fields. The RSC for education was developed in the UK and legally mandated in 2017, while the research software engineering movement grew out of the international research community. So basically, it's came from somewhere else to the UK, basically Europe,
World Health
World Health,
Organization.
right, and WHO. Okay, so that's what happens when you Google this. That's what you get told. Now, when you and I tell my
That's really
community,
a small, but
yeah, yeah, that is, yeah. There's more there, like you know what I mean.
okay.
But it's just to give you an idea of this word. It is here. It is real. It's on Google, and yeah, this isn't misinformation. This is facts because this is so far out there, guys. Parents, I'm talking to you, and both Protestants and
Grandparents.
Catholics, grandparents. This is so far out there. You're going to be like, come on, Freedom Dad.
Is this actually happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my name's, you can call me AJ. I have no agenda except to protect the kids of Northern Ireland and further afield. Um, this here has been going on since 2019 and slightly before it. MLAs were involved, and Chris Eaton Harrison, which was the Secretary of State of Northern Ireland, had a private group meeting with the homosexual body, which is now coming into the schools through transgender and male he, she, me sort of stuff. Basically, what they've been doing is they've been sliding this agenda in over the last lot of years, and it comes from the World Health Organization and a couple of other departments, but also from the transgender, homosexuality, pride, gay, sexual. Now, let me make it very, very clear here that I am not against homosexual people. I'm not against transsexuals. I'm not going to support what they're doing, but I'm not against them. But what I am against is their ideology and their forcefulness to come in and take the innocency of our children away from 3 years of age. Yes, 3 years of, you heard it right, 3 years of
So
age.
can you just give them it? Well, let's hit them with the hard stuff.
All right.
The stuff that's
Will I
unbelievable.
read it out to them?
Yes, please do.
Might take about 10 minutes to read this
It'll
to
be
you.
worth pay close attention, guys. Pay close
All right,
attention.
this is an organisation called TBRNI, and you can see it there in the leaflets. Mark will have some of these leaflets, so you'll be able to pass them on, and there'll be a website set up as well for all parents. And I would say to you right away that I would.
If I can do this, I'll do this. Tell me when you see that.
Work away, yeah.
Minute. If you pause it, if you can pause that and then I'll put it up. I'll screenshot it and put it up for you guys. So if you just go through what's the age groups of what's happening.
Okay,
that's what we need to know of what's happening with our children in our schools.
All right, mate. No sweat. Right. So basically, you're going to be shocked. But if you're not shocked, there's something wrong with you as a parent and a grandparent. And this is how it goes. Relationships and sexual education, in brackets RSE, is one of the greatest assaults on the health and innocency of children. This is because, unlike traditional sex education, religious sex education is highly explicit and promotes promiscuity, highly risk sexual behaviours to children as healthy and normal. RSE programs have had an almost obsessive focus on teaching children how to obtain sexual pleasure in various ways. Listen, when we were all kids and boys and girls, we all had to be funny bits. I'm a doctor and you're a nurse. We've been all down them roads. But this is not about this. Yet, ironically, relationships and sexually educate programs fail to teach children about all the emotional, psychology, and physical health risks of promiscuous sexual activity. The ultimate goal of RSE is to change the sexual and gender norms of society, which is why RSE could be more acutely called abortion, promiscuity, and the LGBTQIA plus rights education. RSE is a rights-based approach to sexual education and promotes sexual rights to children at the expense of their innocence and sexual health and against their parents. Let me just add in there, the teachers in our schools have been told, not all the schools, but some of them who are teaching illegally at this present time, which is putting you at risk, putting your kids at risk, and it's putting the kids at risk who deal with other kids within the country. What is the driving force behind this? There are two important internationally recognised documents to be aware of. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, and the World Health Organization, WHO, are instructing education authorities worldwide to encourage children to start experimenting with sex as young as possible. They are openly promoting the following to be taught to their young children. I spoke to fellas from Rathcoole and they said there's no way this is going to happen to our kids. They're teaching them masturbation, they're teaching pornography, they're teaching them sexual techniques, encouragement of minors to engage in the same-sex relationships. UNESCO and the WHO issue a document, International Technical Guidance on a Sexual Education. It is the official guideline for all public schools around the world. One of the stated goals of the document is described on page 16. You'll get all this anyway. It aims to equip children. Listen to this. And this is actually a mistake by the organisation that done this. They say it's from 5 to 12. It's not. It's from as young as 3 up to 12 and younger. Young people with knowledge, skills, attitudes and values that will be imparted to them to realize their health, well-being and dignity, development, respectfulness, social and sexual relationship. Another document called Standards for Sexuality Education in Europe was published in 2010. This has been going on since 2010.
So how have we not? Why are we only finding about it now?
Because it's been kept quiet by the government. It's been kept quiet by the MLAs.
Well, we know they're good at doing this kind of thing.
Very
We've seen
much
it with what they've done in England with immigration.
Very
I know
much
it's totally different, but we know that they're good at sentencing and letting. We're oblivious.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, we could go on when we're not going because we want the video to go out. You know what I mean? But
definitely.
Can you get to the
I'm coming down to it now, Mark.
Cheers.
Coming down to it
Cheers,
now.
mate. Cheers.
The summary below will highlight key aspects of the guidance of parents and concerned citizens. You can scan the QR codes, use the links provided for Google search for the titles to see the documents for yourselves. Now listen to this, folks. Get ready for this. And parents, do not be under any illusion that this is not happening to your kids, because it is. And the only way to stop it is to listen to what's going to be said to you. Not the 4 years of age old. Give information. This is what they're told to do, the teachers. Give information about enjoyment and pleasure with touching one another's body. Early childhood masturbation. Early childhood masturbation. Let that sink into your head, fellas and women. Help children develop respect for different norms regarding sexuality.
What age group is this?
This is from 0 to 4, 4 to 6.
Right, so go through each age group.
All right, 0 to 4. Give information about enjoyment and pleasure when touching one another's body. We're all adults here and we know what sex is about, but we don't need to be taught it. But our kids do not need to be taught of it at them ages. 4-year-olds, give the right to explore gender identities. 4 to 6-year-olds, give information about same-sex relationships and different concepts of a family. Help children develop respect for different norms regarding sexuality. Let me ask you guys, you've got kids yourselves, do you want this?
No.
I don't think there's anybody out there that would want to be part of this carry on, and I think everybody should know about it. Carry on.
All right, Mark. 6 to 9 year olds, give information about sexual intercourse, contraception, menstruation, masturbation, and ejaculation. Give information about online pornography, having a secret love, good and bad secrets. God forbid. Who's going to rear them children? Who's going to teach them what's right and what's wrong? Because the teachers in our schools are not teaching it. Some parents are lazy and they're not teaching their kids. Some parents are sitting back and letting this go on, and they know about it.
I don't think the majority of people
not majority of people. A few people know about it. In actual fact, I've been threatened by parents if I didn't keep promoting this here.
Well, let's get this clear. Let's make this clear really right now. The type of parents that you'll be getting the threats from, the same people are spitting in my face of Palestinian depots. It's the same people that support Sinn Féin, the same people that support Alliance. It's the far left communism.
Yeah.
That's where it's all coming from, and that's the people that are driving us into our communities.
So basically, this is affecting parents because one, they're not educated all about this. They don't know about it, even though it's been in for these years. It's come to the forefront now, big time. So again, we're now talking about 9-year-old to 12-year-olds. Give information about sexual reproduction, abortion services. Give information about their first sexual experience. Enable children to make a conscious decision to have their first sexual experience at 9 years of age. Gender orientation. Learn to use online pornography. Fellas, we've been down those roads. We know what that is and what that leads to mentally, physically. Your marriages, your homes, everything can get affected. Difference between gender identity and biological sex. From 12 to 15-year-olds, role expectations and role behaviour in relationship to sexual arousal, gender differences, give information about their first sexual experience. I want to ask you, parents, for the last 2,000 years, have you ever seen anything wrong with your kids? Have they ever been harmed? Yes, they've been abused. And I can say this, there might be an opposition here to this because this is underneath the carpet. This has been happening in England, Wales, Scotland, all over the world. That men in power, judges, police, solicitors, teachers, doctors, ordinary people are enacting these roles. Journalists out there, go and check this out if I'm right or wrong. Go and check it out. Lift up the mats to see where the dirt is.
So, but I just want to make sense of it all because it is quite overwhelming, all this information. And a lot of people would think it must be misinformation because you don't hear nothing of it in your schools. So basically what's happening right now is they're trying to bring it into Northern Ireland. And they are more or less, depends, certain schools, there is...
It's getting the old school.
Yeah, they'll try to put it in the old schools, yeah. It's in Ireland, we've seen with Burke, that with the video earlier on the day, you know what I mean? Not calling a child a boy, they, instead of him or he, still trying to work all that out myself, you know what I mean, guys? But this isn't an attack on the gay community.
No, it's not.
This is nothing like that. This is about our children.
It's about protection of our kids.
It's about the protection of our kids.
Keeping their innocence.
Keeping their innocence. So, you don't misplace what we're saying here. Yep. This is definitely not against the LGBTQ community, but this is our schools, right? Now, if you are gay or a transvestite or whatever, you have the right, if you're a parent, you know what I mean, you've got certain rights over your child, and we expect them certain rights as well. It seems to be that you're being given all the rights, and if you've got a gay child, then they're getting all the rights in the school. And to come up against that, to disagree with that, our rights are being taken away.
You're breaking the law.
That's the difference here, big, huge changes in society. And it's all being set up for these kind of things that come in. And I want you to think about this. One of the long-term damages to our country, if we bring this ideology, allow this ideology to keep going, this far-left socialist ideology that is coming into our schools, the only the only result of that is a decline in births. You know, like already we're going through a decline of births. This is going to multiply that, and we will be replaced. Our citizens, our people will be replaced. If our children are being taught to dress up as girls and kiss boys, and boys go with boys and girls go with girls at ages of 6 and 4 and 5 and 3, what chance have we got as a society? You know,
We're finished.
yeah, of course, and it's all part of the mechanism of the great replacement, as they say. You know, and the bottom line is, guys, is this is everything to do with what I do. You know, this is something I've came across. There is going to be more coming along with this. I have been looking into the Irish side of things, and it's also come out in Wales. You know about Wales?
Yep.
It's come out in Wales.
Scotland.
No, it's not too. I haven't got that far yet, but
Yeah.
I have looked into England, and it's
Like in
England
England.
are resisting
They
because
are.
of the Islam.
Islam.
Because of Islam, and this is quite remarkable. You know, we know Islam, and Islam isn't going to stand for this to be taught in their
But
schools.
we don't want Islam taking this over. We need to do this ourselves because Islam will come in through the back door and this here and say they're doing good. We don't want that.
Well, this is maybe why they put a Muslim into the education department in government. You know, could be
Well.
part of the reason. But this, I think he was actually a clerk. Of some,
Mahmoud sure is the head of security.
no, he's Home
She-
Office
she's
now.
a
She was
she.
Justice
She's a
Minister
she.
now. She's Home
Ah,
Office, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, that's going down another
Yeah, I
route.
know.
But
But
you know, there's
that's part of it, Mark. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta understand the ideology that comes from it as well. They say they're against it, but it's like my enemies, my friend is your enemy. It's my friends.
yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So they're using that. They can use it. I'm not saying they're particularly using it, but that can be used because if the Muslims come out in the street, everybody will say, "Oh, they're out against that. That's great. That's good." But what they're doing is they're subtly sliding in through the back door, using this as well into the schools, into this, into that. I'm not against Islamic people. I don't want it in my country. I'm not afraid of anybody in that way, but I don't want that in my country teaching jihad. And that's another thing for another time. We've been down that road as well. Is jihad being taught? You better believe it's been taught. And when they get to a stage in Northern Ireland where they have enough people to come out in marches, they'll come out, and you as parents won't have a say over anything.
Yeah. So this is getting pushed throughout the Western world. So it is this. What about America?
It's in America as well, but Trump has stopped it in
Right.
some of the schools, but it's still going on. There's teachers over there at the moment teaching 3 days a week transgender to students as young as maybe 7, 8, 9, 10.
And this is this why we've seen, because we had an incident in East Belfast. One of my mates was involved in it. Pinky, you all know Pinky, and there was a man dressed as a woman. You know, a woman, or you know, it's a woman. I don't know, because I don't want to make the mistake. You know, because I don't want to offend anybody. Some men dress as women, but they aren't gay, and you know what I mean. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it right. So this is the way it is. This is as you know, guys, with my upbringing being children's homes.
I was foster as well.
Yep, and the prison.
I'm abused by a man.
Yep, and being in prison and everything. You know, I look at the world logically. You know what I mean? And this is the logical facts. You know, these people are the minority in our country, but you're getting more rights than the majority, and none of that makes any sense. Like, we get a month for Pride, but yet we get an hour for our veterans. A day if we're lucky.
July and all the other parades, it's only one day.
Yeah,
it's months for these things now.
Yeah, a month.
It's everywhere,
and they are a minority. And you know, it's not like we're asking for any more time. We're not. We're trying to make sense of it all.
And if you also look at the TV programs, it's all near enough gays are coming to the forefront as television hosts.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed that, but it's all been pushed as well, that agenda, because their thoughts affect the people on TV, their ways of affecting TV. It's psychologically and sublimely been put into the beta part, what's called the beta part of the mind, which is a beam, a part of the mind. And if you're watching and look at that stuff, you go to bed with that in your mind, you wake up the next morning, you're thinking about it, or you've done something about it. You know what I mean? So there's a big danger here.
Right, like, it is confusing, like I say. Like you say, if you've been abused when you were younger.
I was very, very young.
Yeah, and same here. You know what I mean? And like, you know, my abuse was from a gay person. You know what I mean? Who was trying to convince me that it was okay to
Yeah.
go with a guy, and
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to be with girls and
Yep.
stuff like that, and
Yeah,
it
but
was
you're not
so
sure. You're
confusing.
not sure thing within you.
You know, 8, 9 years old, very, very confusing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, this is a problem we have. You know, so okay, fair enough. It's for people who are gay and who are maybe are born in different bodies and all that. We understand that. I've got experience of that.
Yes.
I've seen it with my own
Yeah.
eyes. A boy being born a boy, but
Yes.
you can if there's a girl in there and they grow up to be girls, but you know they're in the body of a boy, and you know I have nothing. I believe they should be fully supported
It should
in
be helped.
and
Yes.
help transitioning through life and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? But you know the problem is that's what we should be doing. We should be to help them. It's finding these children and you know through the system, through parenting, working together, not against each other,
Yeah.
and dealing with that as they go through life and helping them.
But the government will let you.
Whereas where we are today is we've got the majority of heterosexual, is that straight people are?
Yeah.
We've got a majority of heterosexual children who are now being informed of this other
Ideology.
ideology and sexual orientation, and it will put doubts in their minds as children.
They're not being informed. They're being forced.
Yeah,
The parents are being forced.
yeah,
Let me tell you, the MLAs at Stormont, across the water, and I'll name them: Alliance Party, SDLP, Sinn Féin. These are trying to pass a law at the moment, and it's already been passed in England and Scotland. People have been put in jail. You can pick it up yourself. It's in black and white for you to study. So this is not accusations been made. But kids, parents have been put in jail for not allowing their kids to be transgender. So what the government's doing is saying to you, you have no right to do anything. We own your kids. Well, I have something to read out here after this and you're over, and I'll tell you it's not. People have been accused. Young girls have had their breasts removed. Factual. Young boys have had their genitals removed. Factual. And these young boys and girls can't go back to that life again.
yeah.
It's like abortion. When you make a decision to make an abortion and you regret it later on, there's nothing you can do about it. You've made the mistake. You've done what you've done. And some people, I'm not judging anybody, but they're teaching this in schools as well. Abortion to these young kids. Come on. You're trying to save life to kill life.
So, guys, what you've got to do is you've got to speak to your politicians. If you're Protestant or Catholic, whoever you're voting for, whoever you've got, like who you respect and think they're doing the right thing for your country, you've got to ask them about this. You've got to ask them what their opinions are on our SC and are they going to stop it in our schools? Because this is the destruction of our communities and everything that we know.
The whole lifestyle.
Yeah. This mixed with mass immigration and the Islamification of our country. This gets rid of this because the Islamists will not put up with this. That will be taken away as soon as we're away. Please believe me. This is an attack on our birth rate. This is an attack on our social lives as we've known it.
Yep.
You know, and you know that's what you can do is be aware of it. Speak to your politicians and find out what their stance is. Now, what's the situation in Northern Ireland? If you want to read that out for me,
all
please,
right,
mate.
It says here, is it coming to Northern Ireland? It's not coming. It's already here. It's already here in some of the schools. So the Secretary of State wishes the teaching of the transgenderism and abortion in the new school year of 2023 to 2024. This has been in, not validated, but in since 2010. Under the rug, under the carpets, and behind your backs, because they think you're stupid, they think you're arrogant people. You'll not ask questions. You'll not come out onto the streets. They think, you'll sit back and accept this. The consultation for schools and parents for implementation of paragraphs 85 and 86 of the CEDAW report will last until the 1st of January 2004. They've already brought it in. It's over. Have any of you got a letter from the government? Has any of you got a letter from the schools and the Board of Governors telling you this has happened? Have you been consulted? Have you been invited into the schools to discuss these topics? No, you haven't. Across Northern Ireland, many primary and secondary schools are already teaching dangerous gender ideologies and immoral practices which can cause great mental and physical harm to easily influence children. The contents of the current RSE curriculum should only be part of life skills that are taught within a safe, listen to this, family environment. RSE lessons in school should be removed, the parents and the guardian, and give that position of trust not to a third party. The Northern Ireland Human Rights Commission and UN CEDAW reports both recommend a broader mandatory compulsory RSE curriculum at primary and secondary level schools. The NIHRC report is entirely devoid of any moral compass, criticising schools for promoting abstinence and a value of human life and using pejorative terms which reflect their contempt for anything that promotes heterosexuality or normality as a hetero male or female. New policies will override the values of the school or parents. Let me repeat that again. New policies will override your authority as parents and the values you have of the school or the parent putting in place the teaching of RSE according to the government's ethos in the name of child's rights. What can you do as parents? And Mark will talk about this later on. Form groups in your areas of like-minded parents in your area and start an information campaign of sharing the information, of getting the messages out there to parents. Don't be blinded by what you say, and don't say this is lies, and don't say this is not. It is happening now. Lobby your local MPs, MLS and councillors. Contact your school principals. They'll not like you for doing it, but I've already been stopped by school principals. And my friend, we had a meeting of 2,500 minded people like myself at the offices of Chris Eaton Harrison in Chester Street. What has been done about it? Nothing.
So it needs to be more voices. This is the thing.
We need the parents out in the streets.
People need to know about it. What we're doing here is getting information out. You know, these kind of things I know from experience take a wee while. It takes a wee while to get it out. I am going to be bringing more videos about it. This is just the start to give you an idea. This has come from Northern Ireland. A man from Northern Ireland telling you what's going on. I'm going to bring a man from Ireland. I'm going to bring somebody from Wales. Yeah, and you know, and let you know what's going on in our union. And what Britain is like I keep saying these, how long are we going to go before they don't represent us? They need to understand that we can do something different. You know, we can't keep being under this threat of like we can't do nothing. We're part of the union. Whatever they do, we've got to go along with. No, we don't. It's time to stop all that. Mass immigration has woke us all up. This is the kick in the behind that we needed to get the rest of us up off the feet. We can bring all this together. Because all we need is the right government. We get the right government, then we stop mass immigration. We stop immigration completely until we take stock of what we can come in. We take stock of who's in our civil servants. How far and how deep do the far left communists go in society, in our hospitals, in our schools, in our universities, in social work, in addictions, in prisons, in the justice system. You know, these are the kind of things that we change by changing the government, by getting the right men and women to the forefront to represent the people of the country, the people who do not want this and the people that do not want mass migration. Is there anything you want to add? Because I don't want that video too long.
Well, it says here to contact your school principals, request a copy of the RSE policy. In fact, don't request it, demand it. Ask if there are any third parties. Ask if there's any other third party teachers teaching this RSE. Request the content of all RSE lessons. Find a local, and listen, don't take this the wrong way.
Oh, good.
They use the word local Christian school. There is no Christian schools about. And as a Christian, as a Christian country, and as a Christian nation, we should be supplying these schools at moral values at least.
We're too busy supplying hotels and HMOs for foreigners.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, this is the truth. It's a fact on our health service. We don't have the money. The people waiting in hospital beds, people in hot corridors, people waiting in ambulances. I mean, every part of our infrastructure is being affected because we do not have the money. They should be going into the locals, and we're too busy looking after foreigners and making sure they're comfortable and getting good food in hotels, and then we're paying housing benefit and social benefits to these guys. All that money could have been getting put into our country.
Well, if you've seen this morning video that Mark had put up about Mr. Burke, the teacher, You had a foreign gentleman. He's allowed a job, not a problem. But it's now foreign people doing the jobs of security to put our people out of our homes, our schools, our companies, our whatever the law decides to let them do and give them authority to do. That is madness. Please follow us on Facebook with Mark. Join your WhatsApp group. Set up a WhatsApp group and visit our websites. I don't know what else they're doing, but there's nobody out in the streets anymore. This will not be resolved, friends, and I'm not indicating violence or damage towards the police or property or rioting. Please, please, people up Northern Ireland, don't do that.
No.
Come out in your masses.
No rioting.
Come out in your masses together as parents, regardless of who people are. This is your kids. This is your kids. Let me just read this to you. United Parents and Grandparents Against RSE. That's what we're going to call the organisation. United Parents and Grandparents Against RSE. In our schools, both primary and secondary, we are the parents who have total authority over our own children. 1. Not the World Health Organization. 2. Not the government. 3. Not the MLAs from all parties. 4. Not the boards of governors. 5. Not the teachers. And 6. Not the WOC. But we as the parents only, us, we will decide what our kids are and is acceptable to be taught. Our children, our young ones in primary schools and secondary schools, we trusted the schools. We trusted the education system. We trusted the government that our kids could go to school and be safe in a school, not just physically, but spiritually, mentally. But that's not happening. We trusted you to teach them right morals, but we've been wrong to do that. So you have brought these filthy immoral teachings in to take away our kids' innocency. And these ideologies of transgender, abortion, same sex with each other at 3 years of age. How dare you assume you can do this? How dare you assume? We don't want it in our schools. Full stop. We want it out of the schools and we want it now. No way in our day.
So there you go, guys. I'm just going to finish. I just want to say thank you so much, mate. Absolutely amazing wanting to speak. I know you're very passionate, and but I want to say this, guys. You know, I focus on mass immigration. But you know, the bottom line is, it's my daughter, my wee girl. That's what it's about. It does happen to be mass immigration is causing a problem for the future of my child, and the future for all my mates' child, and our grandchildren, and our future great grandchildren. But this is on the same level, and I want to send a message to the government, to the British government and to our local government. We will go to war on this. We will. If you think that we're going hard with mass immigration, you start bringing this into our children, into our children's lives, and telling our children it's okay to fondle each other and watch pornography, and it's okay to kiss boys and boys kiss boys, girls kiss girls. You'll see how far we will go. This is not coming to our country. It's not coming on. Just like I say, mass immigration isn't coming. Islamification isn't coming. And the Patriots, along with anybody else that wants to join us, will come together, bring the right government in. We're not doing it. What we're going to do is bring the people forward in the masses to find leaders amongst them all. But the Patriots in Northern Ireland, me, Glenn Kane, Pinky, all the guys we bring together, Truth Podcast, everybody you see that's doing a wee bit, that's up in court, that's getting hot bail conditions, that are being silenced right now, just like probably me shortly. We're all going to be fighting. There's going to be hundreds of men coming behind them.
I hope there's thousands.
There will be. There will be. But please believe me.
But without violence.
We are going to fight this tooth and nail.
Yeah, but I'm so hung up on this. I have 7 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. Right. But we're talking to the people who love their kids, who want to come out onto the streets as a group, as a whole group of Northern Ireland. Forget religion, forget Catholicism, forget Protestantism, forget all the religions. This is about your kids, what they've been taught.
Cheers, Andy. I'm just going to wrap it up. So, like I say, guys, we're going to fight tooth and nail for this. I'm Freedom Dad. God bless. So, guys, was going to end it there, and we just kept on rolling, to be honest with you. That was gonna be ended, and we just thought we'd just do another wee bit. So this is a bonus clip of just us talking afterwards. The video was rolling. We were aware of it rolling. There was a possibility it would have went up, but you know, I did say to him that was us finished. You know, so enjoy the last wee bit. Man, let's go. Just need to tidy a couple of wee bits up, you know what I mean, just to keep
But
that channel right. But that's perfect.
I'm willing to go the full hog. You know what I mean? I'm willing to stand with anybody. It's up to protect their kids, because our kids are our society. 5, 10 years down the line,
Yep.
Kids and everything are going out now, and they're leaving the country. We should be creating employment. We should be getting good education standards. We should be stopping all the money we're paying out for weaponry in England, to certain countries. Where's that money all going?
Foreign aid. I know
Exactly.
you do a bit of foreign aid, like, but you know,
Yep.
we agree to disagree on that.
Yep.
You know, you do a bit of work in Africa and
Now,
that.
that's
You
a
know what I
different
mean?
thing.
That's totally different. Like,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about Syria.
Yeah.
You know, Iraq, Pakistan,
I'm actually
India.
yeah.
Like a lot of these countries are doing all right. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I'm actually a charity. Have been on my own for 14 years with no support from anybody, no funds from anybody. I've had to stand at Iceland doors and stuff, try and collect. I'm doing this for kids who are also innocent of the fact. But I'm also doing it to train kids, adults, how to be employed, how to do carpentry, how to do welding, how to do sewing, how to do all types of trades. What will that do? It will create an entrepreneurial skill within them to want to achieve much in their own lives in their own countries.
Yes.
So they're not going to come here looking for jobs. We've made it far, far too easy. Our government has made it far, far too easy.
But this is what I mean. We're taking the best from these countries.
We are.
So we're leaving them countries in an even worse state,
Yep.
because we're taking the doctors, the nurses, the
Yep.
engineers,
Yep.
and all the
And they're
ones
not
that
getting
do the
paid.
jobs that we don't want to do.
I had a nurse. I have a friend called a nurse. She's in Ethiopia. And I've been to Ethiopia, and I've been to Rift Valley, I've been to Kenya. This will be my third trip. And I've been to Ethiopia 2 or 3 times. I have a nurse friend who's a HIV specialist nurse. Do you know what she gets in her country a month to do HIV treatment? £60.
To do what?
To look after people with AIDS.
Right, so it's
To help them, medication, drugs, everything, treatment, the lot. £60 a month. She can't even get the £60 a month now because the organisation she was working for has pulled out. You know what?
Is the AIDS epidemic really
Massive,
bad?
massive.
So do you think we're doing any tests on anybody that's coming into this?
I don't know here.
Because
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So they won't be doing any blood tests. Like, we know they've no ID, so I can't imagine.
And also,
you don't have ID. Oh, so we don't know your name. We don't know how old you are. We don't know where you're from.
Yep.
But we're going to test you for all these different diseases.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So that's a big fear in it. Like, you know what I mean? There's so many angles coming from all this. It's unreal.
Yeah.
So do you think this is all working together? The mass immigration, all the things that we're seeing, the left wing, the way everything. Well, you look at TV, you can't watch an advert.
No, you
can't see you'll never see a white family anymore.
No.
A mum that's white, a dad that's white, with 2 kids that are white. It's just everything is changing.
Yeah.
It's indoctrinated in the media, BBC, Channel 4, The Guardian newspaper, all these
Times, News of the World,
like, and
radio,
and our
TV,
teachers, our universities.
the Nolan Show.
So how do we defeat them if they're in everything?
We have to,
because every step we take, we're going to be attacked from all different angles.
Well, this is it. You see, this is the whole point of all this. You will never resolve this. You will never resolve this, but by coming together.
Yeah.
Never. And it's when like-minded people come together and strategize and look at the ifs and buts of what we do, where it's the right thing, the wrong thing, but we need minds with wisdom to solve this. This won't be solved by uneducated people. This will be solved with a heart that is a love for this country and a love for its people and a love for its kids. Yeah. And us coming together will resolve that. The religion will pass away, but God won't pass away. And I'm going to bring this in, mate. The devil cometh for to rob and to steal and to destroy. If you have any inkling of God, you have to believe there's a God and you have to believe there's a devil. Well, the devil came into this earth to destroy you, me, Mark, all the lads here, and the fella behind the camera, not mentioning his name, good looking fella. But we have to come together to do things right, to do them justly, to do them fairly. It's about time things stop being unfair in this country, and everybody gets a fair crack of the whip.
See, this is the problem, but it's like the first attack we're getting is from the system, the justice system. As you see, like us guys, and Pinky and everybody else, and they're all we're not political minded.
No.
We're not. We've never been at college.
No.
We're not. We
No,
haven't got
never
degrees, right? But what we do know
Done
is
an A-level study, man.
we know how to bring awareness.
Yep,
we know how to
we
get
do.
people's
We know how to
attention.
speak.
We know how to get people's attention. But the problem with that is, we do know the law. We stay, but we don't cross that line.
Straight right.
They don't like our style and they don't like our language.
No.
But that's the only way that we can get people to listen to what's truly going on. And we apologise to nobody for that. We really do. All the guys I speak for, all the guys that are out in bail and all the guys that have been arrested, none of us apologise for that. The reason why we do it, the reason why these guys do it, and it's their style, is to get you all to wake up rapidly, because we don't have much time. We haven't got time to push you about and sit and do sensible interviews and ask people and go around doors and try and get politicians to listen to us. No, we need to get on the streets. We need to get active. We need to do TikToks that are quite, whoa, what's that? Feeling on the streets and everywhere you go, this is what
that's what I see.
It's the same here. Anybody disagree? Everywhere you are, that's the same feeling on the street. Nobody wants this, and I imagine everybody watching this right now, you're all saying this, you'll all be shaking your head going like, yes, Freedom Dad, yes, Andy, none of us want this here. So
why don't do something about it?
So why is it, because we know it's a minority, it's a tiny wee group that want it, so why aren't they listening to the masses? How do they think they're going to get away with this?
The devil cometh forth to rob and to steal, Mark. We fight against wickedness in higher places.
Yeah, I understand that.
We're
talking about human beings. We're talking about people that aren't religious.
This is not to do religion. In this sense, this is people manipulated by evil forces to do these things. That's what we're fighting against.
Yeah, but there has to be something else in layman's terms. You know what I mean? What I'm trying to say to you is like, this is a serious attack on the Western world and the future of what we know.
Okay,
if you want to our DNA line is getting attacked here. By not only by Islam but also by this.
Our own
and
people
the only people
and
the only people that this isn't going to affect is Islam. They're not going to suffer none of this. It'll just be us.
They'll not have it.
So they're going to grow and multiply with 3-4 different wives, all 7-6 kids for all we know, the 4 or 5 different wives, while our children are all gay and not having children.
I stood much the other day, a man 60 years of age, a wee girl beside him, I think she wouldn't have even been 13, standing pregnant.
Yeah, I've seen it.
60-year-old.
I've seen some horrific stuff. Yeah,
but that's not blaming them. We've got to blame the people of that set mind who's doing as well. It's not just the migrants. It's not just the schools. Listen. In Germany, at this moment in time, paedophiles have applied to government, and it's been passed to have sex with a 12-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy legally. If this is allowed to come in, which is already in, maybe not in full force, a paedophile, and take warning at this, a paedophile will be able to walk up to the school, take your child by the hand, get an old dirty entry into a car, and do whatever they want to them, and see if they're caught, they'll not even be prosecuted.
Yeah, that's the future.
That's the future.
Yeah. I'm trying to say that even in prison, right? I'll tell you this, guys, you don't know this as well. In Scotland, in Shots, one of the it's where all the gangsters go and all the big sentences. You got to be doing over 5 years.
Is that the politicians again?
Aye. And so in that jail, you've got A wing, B wing, and C wing, and you've got a wing that's exactly the same as A wing and B wing and C wing, exactly the same, all built the same, but it's called the therapy unit. And that's where they house the sex offenders. Now, when you look when you go by the gym, when you're going back to our wings, we can look into this wing. And our wings are eggshell, as everybody knows, prison. Eggshell's the usual colour, flaking. You got the tube lights all flickering, places dirty, you know what I mean? It's just grim and dour, you know what I mean? Their wing had pastel colours. They had flowers. They had a fucking fish tank, a tropical fish tank. And the kicker for me, they had the best looking prison officers, women prison officers on that wing. And these were the sex offenders. I know. I was like, come on, we got all these prison officers with the big beards. They look like Pinky, you know what I mean?
his pinky a day anyway.
He's staying out of trouble.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
glad
staying
of
out of
that.
trouble, yeah.
Not a
Yeah.
bad lad, but he needs to just watch himself and look after himself.
Yeah, you could take him nowhere.
Could take him nowhere.
Well, we'll wrap that up, mate.
All
That's
right,
perfect.
mate.
I'm gonna ring out.
Brilliant.
I'm gonna have to. I've got a lot of work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, guys and dolls, this video is a bit of an eye opener, and I just want to say it's just the opinions, my opinions, Andy's opinions, and what we are learning from the government and from online and from other information that we can get and research. I also want to say it's for entertainment and educational purposes only, and it is the opinions of me, Freedom Dad, my channel. I'm responsible for it, and yeah, I stand by my opinions as always. Enjoy. Okay, guys, that's it. It's been a few hours, a couple of hours editing. Hope you've enjoyed it. You know, it's quite a serious issue. I will be. This is just a start. It. There will be more coming. I am reaching out to other people in Wales and in Ireland, and I'm going to get more information and dig a wee bit deeper and find out how widespread this truly is, because this needs to be looked at. It needs to be aware of. At least, at the very least, it needs to be discussed before it gets brought into our schools with parents. Simple as that. I'm Freedom Dad, and God bless.